Okay, so welcome to a very brief video on useful commands, useful Linux commands. I'm just going to run through a few commands that I think are really important and good. I'm on a Linux Mint computer, so I think all these commands should work on any Linux distribution. However, there's one command, apt, the apt command, that I use to install software quite often, and that will only work on all the Debian derivatives, so things like obviously Debian, Ubuntu, Mint, and anything that is based on any of those operating systems. So let's open up a terminal, and here we go. Here's the command line. Let's make it a bit bigger. Control Shift and plus. Let's not go mad. That'll do. Let's maximize the window. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'm just going to briefly just skip through some commands that I think are really important. So let me just have a look to see if htop's installed. It is. Right. So I am going to use apt to remove a piece of software from my computer. So I'm going to type in this sudo apt remove htop. So what is that? Well, the command is here. Apt remove htop. So apt is going to remove htop. Fair enough. And sudo is what gives my user the authorization to do that. So when I press enter, it's going to say, please enter your root password. And I'll type that in like so. And then it will remove, am I sure I want to continue? Yes, I am. And then it will remove the software. So I'm now going to install it again, and if I type in htop, it's not there. So if I type in sudo apt install htop, see, we've got apt install htop this time, and sudo is what gives me the right to do that. If I omit the sudo and I just type in apt install htop, it will say, hey, you don't have the power to do that because you're just a little pathetic oik, which is fair enough. So as I type in sudo, it does it with root privileges. And you'll notice it didn't ask me for a password this time because it said, hey, you typed in the password just a few seconds ago and we still trust you. So that's cool. So if you want to know more about apt, you can do man apt. That is, show me the manual for the apt command. Enter. Here's the manual, up and down, and Q to come out. What else we got? We got, inxi, an amazing command. If you just, and clear, get the crap off the screen. Inxi, if you just type that in, and if you type it in and it doesn't work, you'll have to do sudo apt install inxi to install it. However, it is on my computer, so I don't have to do that. So if you just type in inxi, it shows you that. Not a great deal. Let's clear the screen. And let's type in inxi-F, which is full. And now it shows you lots of stuff. It tells you about your mounted drives, about your CPU, how many threads it can cope with and all that stuff. It tells you the speeds, the average speeds and the maximum speeds. And it tells you about your graphics card driver and lots of interesting or not stuff. So inxi is a brilliant command. I also use df quite a lot. It stands for disk free. So let's press enter and you'll see here we've got great big long numbers on my NVMe drive, my Linux drive. You can see we've just got great big numbers here, and I don't know whether that's 192 gigabytes or 1.9 terabytes because it's got no commas and it's just awful. So what you can type in instead of df is df-h, and that will show you in human readable, that's the H, human readable format. So it's 1.8 terabytes, and that's much easier to read. So let's do an ls. Let's do clear. Now listing files, ls. There we go. Before we do ls, actually, let's do pwd. Password, pwd shows you where you are. So where am I? I'm in the Richard directory inside the home folder. So that is cool. Let's do ls and it will show me what's in there. If I do ls-a, it will show me everything. You'll notice that a lot of these files and folders have dots in front of them, which in Linux means they're hidden. If you just do ls, it doesn't show them. If you do ls-a, which is all, then it does show them. Now you've got another parameter, another switch called ls-l, which is, what does it stand for? Long, I think. So down here you've got various attributes, and you've got the size and other stuff, dates and times. So that is good. What I normally do is I combine them together and I do ls-la. And once you've done this for a while, your fingers will just hit the right buttons. You'll think list, and what will come out is ls-la. So that's what I use, ls-la all the time. So let me talk to you about a really good text editor called Nano. Nano, it's nice and simple. So it's a text editor, but it remains in the terminal window. So it's text based, it's not a graphical thing. Quite often if you're pivoting to another computer, you only get a command line, and you normally have to use VI or Vim, or if you're lucky, Nano. But what you won't ever really get to be able to play with is gedit on something you've got yourself into. So let's I'll show you Nano. So let's create a new file. So Nano I love red wine, that'll do. So I'm going to create a file called I love red wine. Enter. I love red wine, it makes me feel good. That'll do. So I've typed in my file, I've typed in my text. Let's do Control and X is exit, and it's saying, hey, you've modified this file or created it. So do you want to save that? I'm going to say yes please by pressing the Y button, and it says, what do you want to call it? Well, we called it I love red wine, so I'm going to press enter, and there it is. Now if I do ls, as I say, your fingers just type in ls-la. So there we go. Let's have a look. Where have we got I love red wine? There it is, up here, 40 bytes, I love red wine. So that is Nano. Nano, there's lots of stuff you can do in Nano. Also, if you're editing system files, you can combine that with sudo. So you can say sudo nano I love red wine. If I type that right, I think I have. And now it's loading. It's loaded the text editor. It's sucked in the file I love red wine, and it's done it with root privileges. So if you're editing some kind of system file, you'll have to use sudo. Otherwise you won't be able to save it. Anyway, let's exit out of here, Control X, and you'll notice it comes out straight away because I haven't modified anything. What else have we got? Okay, right, let's find a long file here. So ls-la, let's have a look and see what big fat files we've got in here. I want a text file that's reasonably hefty. Right, okay, down here at the bottom we've got x session-errors.old. That'll do. So if I type in, well, let me show you what happens if I type in cat I love red wine. It just shows me the file. If I type in cat dot x session errors blah 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 dot old and press enter, it flies through the screen so bloody quickly I only get to see the last page, and that's no good. So cat only shows the last page basically. Less shows me the whole file. I can use up and down. So if I go use the down cursor key, it goes down one line every time I press it. If I use the up cursor key, it goes up one line every time I press it. If I press enter, it goes down one line every time I press enter. If I press a space bar, it goes down one page. And it's all very good and very lovely. However, you'll notice that it doesn't tell me how far down the page I am. So I don't know if I'm at the top of the file or at the bottom of the file. So let's quit out of this by pressing Q. So that was less. The next one is more. More.xsession-errors.old. Enter. So now you'll notice down the bottom left hand side it says 15%. It's displaying the first 15% of the file, and I can still go down. Okay, right. If you want to go down one line, you press enter. If you want to go down one page, you press space. If you want to go up one page, you press the up cursor. If you want to go down a page, you can press the down cursor. The only way to go down one line is enter. There you go. Let's press Q, and you can see the percentage on the left hand side. Let's press Q and come out of here. What else have we got? Autocomplete is really handy. So if I want to do the same command that I just typed a moment ago, I can use the up button, the up cursor, and it puts it there. So there we go. If that wasn't there and I wanted to, let's do ls-la. You see the last, you see this one here, sudo as admin _ successful. If I wanted to display that file, even though it's empty, I could type in cat dot sudo, and I could sit here and type it all in and bore myself and you. Or I could just do cat, and then I could say .su and then press tab. And tab has basically said finish it off, and there was only one file in here that started with .su, so it knew what it was, it finished it off. Now if I do, you see down the bottom we've got x_session-errors and we've got x_session-errors.old. So if I do cat space .x, let's see what happens here. And then xs, and let's press tab. It'll go to errors, and then if I press tab again, press tab twice, it says, hey look, you've got two files that fit the credentials of x_session-errors. You've got x_session-errors and x_session-errors.old. Which one do you want? So if I put a dot there and press tab, it'll finish it off with .old. Anyway, and that is autocomplete. Autocomplete is brilliant. And that'll do for now, I think.